Hey guys, Sav Angel, welcome back to the channel. And we have our second big airliner for nearly 2 weeks. Funny timing, isn't that? That's hilarious, by the way. The Airbus A320 by FenixSim. Now this has been long anticipated and highly sought after. And of course you've got the Airbus and Boeing camps, which will always make a big decision between people. But I will find the gear kind of funny. Oh, don't stop being quirky, Microsoft. Now, the A320 is a series of narrow-body airliners developed and produced by Airbus, and it was first launched in March 1984. First flight to the 22nd of February 1987. I can read a wiki page as well. Now, it entered service in April 88 with Air France, and of course has the longer A321, the shorter 19 and 18. I love the 18, it's dumpy. I hope they make one of these for the sim, because I would love it. Now, of course, much more complex aircraft because there's a lot of fly-by-wire technology and computerization compared to the Boeings, making the cockpit a lot simpler. Can be a more entry-friendly airliner for a lot of people. In fact, it is actually included in a version in default MSFS. Let's take a look at this entry from Fenix as a first look, go over, take a look at its features and what we can do with this aircraft, because I've loaded it in once to check it out because it's a responsible thing to do given how complex this is. And I like it. Now bear in mind, I paid for this myself with my own dollarinos, so I will obviously... I'll have a look. So, first thing, you're looking at the top of the glare shield, and it starts off on as far as I can tell. In fact, it does in fact start off on. Let's check outside if our gear is actually down now. It is. So that's a good start. Now, of course, we have our EFB over here, which is a super cool feature. And this is perhaps something I thought we'd expect to have with the 737 from PMDG. We didn't. So, obviously, I'm just going to click the Touch ID because I don't have the passcode. And we're going to take a look at this first. By the way, yeah, you can unplug the charging. Unplug it in again. And it will affect the battery life of the tablet. So we have departures, arrivals, navigaph, pilot brief, and settings. Let's go look in our settings page, shall we? And this is probably my favourite feature of this whole thing. We can go through things like settings, you can change the brightness of the tablet, you can change it to flight mode. Useful. It's a little feature, but it's something useful. Now, sleep mode, reboot, of course. Let's go back to the main menu. Let's go to the Fenix tab. And this tablet is its own feature entirely. In fact, you can access all of this from your own tablet. I could literally bring my iPad downstairs and connect to the web page this has, because if we go to... I think it's here? It's not here. It's another page. But it will pull up an actual... Is it under settings? Oh, down there. How do I go home on this thing? Use external device. You can go to your IP address in this port, and you can use your own iPad or external device for this, or tablet, on any web page, even a second screen. I could have this on, which is fantastically cool. That is a really lovely feature we wish was included in more aircraft. That is super cool. It makes things much more cockpit friendly, which will be a huge thing, of course. Let's go to the Fenix page again. Now, of course, in here we have sim settings. We have various settings we wish to use. We have jetway simulation, door simulation, control position. So we can switch that across to first officer and captain. We have our call outs we want for altitude. We have airframe settings. We have cabin settings. And we'll show you about the visibility in a moment, because that will affect performance, so you can turn it off. And airline modifiable information. You can change what your airline would use. Really fantastic feature. Ground services. Of course, we can have external GPUs, stairs. We can connect to jetways. We can actually turn on the evac slides, which I will definitely need to do because I'll crash a lot. We go to mass and balance. We can set these features in the aircraft for what we're expected to have. This is really well designed, I have to say. I really like the layout and the design features. It really does actually make sense. Now, panel states, this is the state of the aircraft. So we can go cold and dark, activate. And it will shut itself down to cold and dark condition. Oh, hello. There we are. And now we're cold and dark in an A320. Now, whilst it's quiet, let's have a look at some of the clicky features, because I like clicky features like you. The tray table. Important for the chicken or the fish. As I mentioned, we'll unplug this for a second so you can see what it does. But you can also hide the EFB with the microphone button there. We can even open the window. Thank you. I actually like this feature. Unlike, you know, the other one, which I quite like, of course. I do like Boeings, but I can't open the windows on the Boeing, can I? But on this, I can. How do I close you again? How do I make you go away? Okay, we broke that. I mean, I can click, but I can't drag. That's a small issue unless I'm going to fly this with the window open. We could work on that. I'm sure there's likely a functionality there. I may have just broken the aeroplane. That is a problem. Can I actually even read this thing to open this tablet? I can't because this tablet's open now. So, yeah, no, we broke it. We broke it. That's fantastic. Really wanted to actually do that because breaking things is how you... There we go. That's what we wanted. Let's go into the menu. Into here. Let's go down to our panel states. And we'll set ready for takeoff. Will this close my window? It will not. Slight issue. The window's open. And I can't actually slide that, so that's a problem. Oh, I don't know how to close the window anymore. You'd think it'd be the same click, wouldn't you? Exactly the same thing. Left click doesn't work. Middle mouse doesn't work. Right click doesn't work. Mouse scroll doesn't do anything. There's no click and drag. There's probably some silly spot that I haven't checked or some reset click that I have to actually activate to release this. That is not there. I'll reload the flight. So don't mess with Windows unless you know what you're doing, kids. Probably a sensible idea there, but when do I go for sensible ideas, right? Never. That is the entire point. So we are in our ready to depart mode. We have got power. The aircraft is operational. And before we do anything, of course, you can pull out your jump seat here. You can stow the jump seat. And more important, you can open the cabin door and look backwards, which to me is a big thing. It might not be to everybody, but the kind of general functionality of this aircraft is rather nice. So let's get on board, shall we? Oh, that's not solid. Well, that is solid. Boop. No, where am I going? I don't even know where I am. There we are. Okay, so our door is open to the jetway. Useful. Of course, we can see into the cockpit. It is open. I can't actually activate these, which would be cool, even though you shouldn't be able to do it. You can in some aircraft, of course. Forward kitchen and flight attendants area. Looks like we're in single class mode right now. Are any of these clicky-doo-darable? They're not. It's a small thing, but it's one thing I actually kind of like in some aircraft. Oh, hello, we're in a bin. Yes, trying to use this when your camera's not operating is a pain. So we're technically outside the cabin here, so it's not in the actual interior modeled VC. We go through here, and it gets significantly quieter. The toilets are there, though. Have they modelled the toilet? They have not. Both you and PMDG, no one models the toilet. Anyway, let's go back in exterior textures time. Here's an engine. That's rather pretty, actually. I'll give them that. Landing gear check. Ooh, that's detailed. That's very detailed. Those tyres have seen some stuff. Oh, I like this, the haze. That's good. Generally really good detailing on this aircraft from what I can see. There's some definite consideration, and you can tell it's a project of love. They've put a lot of effort into this. I will comment on, you know, things that I don't like, but this is rather well done, actually. Just from a visual standpoint, this is something I rather like. And as you all know, I am a noob to airliners, but I'm willing to learn. And the smudging, the little bug splats, that's detail. That really is. Now look, it's two of me in the cockpit. Now, this does come with the one livery, the Fenix livery. However, there are 180 plus that you can download from their app. So when you install the aircraft, it installs an app with it that allows you to basically control liveries and things. And you can also set various modes, like streamer mode, like different ACARS logins, support for various other features. And that will help you, obviously, with your sim experience. In fact, let me just go to quickly display capture. Boom. As you can see on my applications, they're wonderful. Of course, ACARS, sim brief, display quality, so you can what they're actually being rendered by, CPU, GPU, quality, etc. You can restart the various systems, there's customer support, livery manager. It's actually built in. So we have all these you can just download straight away, and you can manage your liveries, downloads, etc, etc. Nice and simple. Okay. Enough faffing around. Let's kick the tires in this bad boy, shall we? How does it fly? Nah. Okay, let's reset my head there. Head position is the one important thing in every flight sim. So let's get ourselves a pushback. Parking brake is disengaged. No faffing with chocks like other models, but actually, will it allow me to do that, or do I have to go through ground services on here? Let's find out. Ground services. I can't get a... Okay, tug connected. Tug unavailable. It can't decide what it wants to do. Start. Little finicky. Okay. All doors are closed. Is that open? That's closed. Okay, that's now closed. Fantastic. Come on, Tuggy boy. Let's go. I will say the brightness settings on the tablet are a little bit low for these conditions. Nope, these are all set down here. Ah, it'd be up here, wouldn't it? This is almost a fully functional tablet and app in its own right, so that's rather cool in that regard. Back in here. Let's see if we can get it to behave with the ground services. Yeah, see this much more as a first look, a let's play, a let's fiddle. I do quite like the term let's fiddle. That's a great thing. Is my parking brake disengaged? That should be down here somewhere. Off. It seems to hook up then disengage. Okay. Any reason why you don't want to hook up to me? Is it the jetway? The jetway is disconnected. Let's use the not so legit system. We'll back out ourselves. We're pro. We're good at this. Nothing could go wrong with this plan. Yeah. Things are a little chunky. Okay, right. Make sure my head's in a good position here. Whoa, Nelly. Let's go. Let's go forwards, shall we? Now, I have noticed some slight issues with the flaps because whilst I have the same configuration I have for the Boeing by PMDG, my flaps don't move. Nor do they work on the Bravo's actual flap setting, so I have to use those functionalities. Oh, that's a taxiway. Let's go this way. Hi, Van. Don't mind me. I'm an idiot in an airliner. What could possibly go wrong? Okay. I'm finding the head positioning a little bit weird as well, because the default is up here, which feels very, very tall. But then again, I've noticed quite a few sim aircraft do release with extremely high viewpoints, if you will, which definitely make things a little bit disturbing. Now, there could be a difference between CPU and GPU rendering on the screens, but I know that I have a decently high-end computer. I run on Ultra, and I notice a worse frame rate performance on this than the 737 by about 10-15 FPS. So right now we're about 17 FPS, which is rather on the low side, and lower than I would definitely expect. I get an average of 30 to 40 in most aircraft, and PMDG was on the high end of 29s, low 30s. This right now is definitely chunking a little harder. Now, I'm not sure if I can actively switch the display rendering. That would be amazing if I can. GPU rendering is not recommended for single GPU systems. Good job I'm not on a single GPU system. Oh, hello, chunk. I think it just tried to decide what it was rendering. And I've gained FPS. Okay. This is instantly smoother. Not by much, but it's gained a couple of FPS. It is not a significant amount. And I'm running a 3070 Ti in my computer, so pretty hefty. So consider this definitely more of a technical comparison between the PMDG and the A320 here. I can't tell you if it's an accurate version of the aircraft. I guarantee 1,000 YouTubers out there will tell you this system is accurate or this system is inaccurate. But we can definitely tell graphically it is a very pretty aircraft. The price point of £50 or the equivalent in dollars is fantastic. $49.99 I paid from their website, which is a great value. And considering now we've had 3 airliners release at basically the same price within the same month, the BAE 146, we've had the PMDG 737 for just over that, and we've had, unfortunately, the fourth the MD-80 for 90, which is a very significant difference for an older aircraft. I'm not sure why that price is so different, but it's definitely kept me away from that one. Taxi out onto the runway here at Juneau. And we'll get ourselves ready for departure here. We'll do a quick lap around the block, and we'll see how things go. See if I can make any more airline pilots cringe. Okay, we are rolling. I have briefly flown the stock A320 a couple of times, so we'll see how this goes. Unfortunately, I'm having to resort to using the F keys for my flaps. Although my spoilers do work, weirdly enough. That's the thing. My spoiler axis works just fine, but this aircraft does not recognise the stock flap axis. Not sure why that is. And away we go. I will say it's still quite chunky here. Holding pitch. Oh, sod off. Thank you, stupid simulator. So my stock gear axis isn't working either for my Bravo, but I can raise the gear. Let's pull our flaps in. Pull our power back here. We've got way too much for what we need. We'll set ourselves up now. Just going to quickly turn my head off real quick while I just check something. Set that for... Nah. I love how those aren't setting. That's concerning. Oh well, we'll work it out, won't we? So that's terrain. It's not yelled at me yet, which is a good start. We'll see if it does yell at me. Speed right now is just under 200. I'm not getting a lot of pitch authority. That's... Yes, thank you. Could you let me have some pitch control? Yes, I'm pulling up, Airbus, thank you. I have roll authority, but the pitch authority was very dull right there. Yes, yes, terrain. This is Alaska, there's lots of it. So heading out here over the sound. We'll do a bit of a circle, come back and land at Juneau's runway. I know that a quick circuit in the airliner isn't a huge test, but it's definitely something. Let's just shut this down and see what this does, because I wonder if this is having an impact. Let's hide that. I get maybe a 1 FPS back. So it's likely the screen rendering that's causing the majority of the actual frame performance. And like I say, I have a high-end system. I have the RTX 2070 Super... sorry, not the RTX, sorry. I have the Ryzen 2700X CPU. I'm getting very little pitch control here. Like, very little. Does it not let me pitch because I'm banking? I'm giving it pitch commands. Must be being an Airbus. Trying to make things smooth. Weird. Yeah, I'm full aft stick right now. I feel like I'm not in control of my own pitch of my aircraft. Lower climb. Well, I would, but the climb is then a descent. Do you see my issue here, Airbus? I would lower my climb if I wasn't immediately ploughing towards the ground because of you. The stupid French piece of shit. Yeah, this is a problem, Airbus. Could we go up now? Stop trying to force my nose down. Oh my god, computer brain is definitely not smart right now. That's a problem.
Terrain ahead.
Yes, thank you. I'm very aware.
Terrain
Lift the nose up, please. Okay. There we go. We have some pitch authority, finally. Whoa. Hello. Okay, there's our runway. We're a little bit off target for this, but we'll make it interesting. This is not going to be a very regular final, but we'll make it happen. So, commanding gear down. This is definitely going to be an interesting approach. Spoilers out to break some of this speed. And there we go. Really poor pitch control. Spoilers retracted. Flaps deployed. Whoa. No, not stalling. Don't stall me. Bad aeroplane. This is an absolute... Oh my gosh, this thing is being aggressive with me. I do feel like I'm not connected to the flight controls. Oh, the Saigon approach apparently is happening. Looks like we're doing a Saigon, boys and girls.
Sink rate.
Yep, there is definitely a sink rate happening.
Sink rate.
I want to get this thing on the ground. I want to get out.
Sink rate.
I wonder if this thing will actually let me pitch up when I approach the runway. Frame performance is definitely quite poor compared to the 737. Yeah, pull up. I'll pull up when I see the whites of their eyes.
Pull up. Sink rate.
This is me pulling up. Deal with it. Still too fast, too high, and too... I'm straight enough. Yeah, this is like a slideshow.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
I'm not an idiot. Don't call me that. Pretty sure we're all on the ground. Relatively smoothly. If not that great. I'm off center, but I don't know what to think about this. Shush! You do have a connection. Really? Uh-huh. Cool. And connected again. Funny that. Okay, so I don't know. I need to turn my head there, and that didn't help. I don't know what to think about this. Now, I know the Airbus is a very different type of aircraft to the 737, and much less something to be whipped around. And I was whipping it around a bit, but I felt very out of control of the aircraft. I didn't feel like I actually had control. Obviously, it's fly-by-wire, and this does simulate that. It simulates that disconnect between the brain of the aircraft and the brain of the pilot, and it had that. But it felt very strange. Let me just shut these down here real quick. Yeah, it felt very strange and kind of weird, and I didn't like it. So maybe it's an idiosyncrasy of Airbus, and if so, that is wonderfully accurate, because it was doing things I wasn't expecting an aeroplane to do. And if this is my first time flying a full actual fly-by-wire simulation of an aircraft, without any training and experience, then it did a wonderful job, because there's a chance that it was doing exactly what it was meant to do, and that I didn't know. And that's probably a great thing, because I came into this blind. This is my first time getting in this thing and flying it. Never flown it before. I read the manual briefly, but I've never actually flown an Airbus, or know how to. So its behaviour with pitch and its kind of control of my pitch and trying to reduce my climb rate, and ending up forcing those down was, from what I've read about Airbuses, accurate. It was strange for me as a pilot to experience, but it was apparently accurate. Love those actual sounds of cooling engines, by the way. If you like Airbuses, this is very much an add-on for you. And I suspect that I'm definitely doing something wrong with how I flew that to make it behave that way. But the fact it can behave that strangely, rather than just responding to those inputs, is a great thing. That shows there's actually a huge amount of depth in this thing. So for the price and the complexity and the fact you have got dozens of liveries to pick from, and you have an accurate representation that has got an interior, it has got, a cockpit door that opens, it has a beautiful tablet, which PMDG take note, that's how you make a tablet for an airliner. It looks great and works amazingly, and the fact I can make it onto my actual tablet is wonderful. I've flown it once, and I already feel like I got my money's worth from this thing. It felt alive, and I think it makes me want to study it and actually learn to fly this thing properly, because clearly there's so much depth to this aircraft. So this isn't a review of an expert opinion, this is me buying an add-on and flying it and telling you what I think. I don't claim to be an expert. I'm not an Airbus expert. I'm not an airliner expert. I know next to nothing about them. Why am I reviewing it? Because it'd be fun. And because I know flight sim models. I know the models, textures. I know aircraft behaviour. And I like to think that as a product, I can at least look at it and qualify its value. Yeah, it has value. It's a good add-on. Would totally recommend. If this is something you'd be into, heck, for its price, it's a fair bargain. The hype could well be worth it. I will shut up now. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you all soon. Bye.